So we talk about this word leader an awful lot, but what does it actually mean to you?
Well, Lieder to me is art songs from Germany, I suppose. So the famous examples of people like Schubert and Brahms and Schumann. But yeah, I suppose in a wider sense, it is just this sort of parlour song type thing of engaging with smaller audiences and smaller venues, perhaps telling stories, that kind of intimate kind of musical experience.
And you spend your life sort of performing all over the world, not just doing art song, but also doing opera. How do you find it a different process performing?
I try and keep the processes fairly similar, actually, and in the sense that it's all just about kind of telling a story and the best way that you can do that. I find with an opera, you perhaps take on a character, or you definitely take on a character, and that can be slightly different, whereas with a leader recital, I prefer to sort of bring my story to the songs. So it's more me and directly speaking to the audience through a composer's work rather than me taking on a character and then performing that character, if that makes sense.
And do you find it more intimidating working with a small audience in the art song scenario or the large audience that you get in opera?
Oh, I think the small audience, yeah, it's terrifying. Yeah, especially when the lights are up and you can see everybody's faces, or not their faces as they slowly fall asleep. But yeah, but then the payoff is that you get that beautiful sense of atmosphere, and you can really feel when you've got a small audience, you can really feel that they're right there with you, and when you've really got the sort of atmosphere in the room and everybody's on board with the same sort of emotional context, then you can really, that's kind of a magical feeling that sometimes you might miss in a bigger audience.
Now today you're singing some Schubert for us, and he's often been described as the sort of Shakespeare of song. Why do you think that is?
Well, I think with the greats in every genre of art, it gets right to the core of sort of human experience. And Shakespeare, you listen to Shakespeare be performed really well, and you have that sort of revelation of like, wow, yeah, I've felt like that. And I find Schubert does the exact same thing of like really just pinning down with tiny little changes of harmony or rhythm or all these tiny little things, but he just pins down beautifully sort of exactly how you feel as a human being, and it's quite an amazing thing that to have. You can kind of take solace if you're feeling down or whatever, that somebody else has felt the exact same thing, 200, 300, 400 years ago, it's, yeah, I think it's really that sort of emotional core to the music and that makes him so special.
And he explores those emotions through this amazing link between the singer and the pianist. And we see that a lot in the piece that you're singing, Erlkönig, where the piano does so much of the work in terms of the drama. How does he do that?
Yeah, well, Erlkönig is the ultimate example, isn't it? I mean, that's sort of the triplets in the right hand that just go through the whole piece, just keeping that kind of tension non-stop. And you really, it's so visceral, that the idea of the rider going through the night, and you can really feel the sort of horse's hooves trampling. And then obviously he manages to really characterize the three voices, or the four voices with the narrator as well, so crystal clear. There's no, even if you were just to sing it blandly, you wouldn't be able to miss them because of the way that he manages to do that. So yeah, I mean, it's a brilliant example of the piano really being right at the forefront of the story. Who rides so late through the night and wind? It is the father with his child. He has the boy in his arms. He holds him safely. He keeps him warm. My son, why do you hide your face in fear? Father, can you not see the Erlking? The Erlking with his crown and tail. My son, it is a streak of mist. Sweet child, come with me. I'll play wonderful games with you. Many a pretty flower grows on the shore. My mother has many a golden robe. Father, father, do you not hear what the Erlking softly promises me? Calm, be calm, my child. The wind is rustling in the withered leaves. Won't you come with me, my fine lad? My daughters shall wait upon you. My daughters lead the nightly dance and will rock you and dance and sing you to sleep. Father, father, can you not see Erlking's daughters there in the darkness? My son, I can see clearly. It is the old grey willows gleaming. I love you. Your fair form allures me. And if you don't come willingly, I'll use force. Father, father, now he's seizing me. The Erlking has hurt me. The father shudders. He rides swiftly. He holds the moaning child in his arms. With one last effort, he reaches home. The child lay dead in his arms.
Reitet so spät durch Nacht und Wind. Es ist der Vater mit seinem Kind. Er hat den Knaben wohl in dem Arm. Er fasst ihn sicher, er hält ihn warm. Mein Sohn, was birgst du so lang dein Gesicht? Siehst, Vater, du den Erlkönig nicht? Den Erlenkönig mit Kron und Schweif. Mein Sohn, es ist ein Nebelstreif. Liebes Kind, komm, geh mit mir, gar schöne Spiele spiel ich mit dir. Manch bunte Blumen sind an den Strand, meine Mutter hat manch kühne Gewalt. Mein Vater, und hörst du nicht, was Erlenkönig mir leise verspricht? Sei ruhig, bleibe ruhig, mein Kind, in dürren Blättern säuselt der Wind. Willst, feiner Knabe, du mit mir gehen? Meine Töchter sollen dich warten schön. Meine Töchter führen den nächtlichen Rhein. Sie wiegen und tanzen und singen dich ein. Sie wiegen und tanzen und singen dich ein. Mein Vater, und siehst du nicht dort, Erlkönig Töchter am nächsten Ort? Mein Sohn, ich sehe es genau, es scheinen die alten Weiden so grau. Ich liebe dich, mich reizt deine schöne Gestalt, und bist du nicht willig, so braucht dich Gewalt. Mein Vater, jetzt fasst mich an, Erlkönig hat mir dein Leids getan. Dem Vater grauset's, reitet geschwind, hält in Armen das ächzende Kind. Erreicht den Hof mit Mühe und Not. In seinem Armen das Kind war tot.